self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another fantastic episode. Why you ain't special today?
I couldn't think of anything to be.
Okay, well, you can find me, Mr. On Point, on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists, and send it to us that way. We don't have a letter today, but we are expecting one from Michael, our UK friend, because he has a take on the conversation we had about down low men who say that they have sex with them. Having sex with men don't make them gay. It just means they like to have sex with men. He has an interesting perspective. I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna let y'all know what it is until we get his letter. But
we don't even have the full perspective. We just got like a little snippet.
We got a snippet of it. But the snippet I got up, I messaged him back when he said he was gonna send it. I was like, I'm excited to hear from that point of view. So we will, as soon as he gets that to us, we will read it to y'all. I'm excited about that. And who is he now? Elroy. I was finna say Leroy. Elroy.
He got something coming for us too. Nerd Plate Podcast, him and Rockman. Y'all check that out. Shout out to Government Name Podcast as well, Cole Jackson and Shogun.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to be added to the number and send us, it doesn't have to be a question. It could be a scenario that you just want our opinions on,
or a topic of the week that you would like to hear in the episode
that we might not, because
we might not make it to.
We may not make it to, or we may not see. I mean, it's so, I do more of the pop culture stuff, and so I try to stay on top of it, but I miss stuff. So you know, if you see something that happens that you would like to hear us talk about, send that in. It could be that. Conversationconartists@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists. I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you became famous, what is a product that somebody could ask you to be the face of that you would be like, hell no, I'm not going to do that?
Okay, there are variables.
Okay.
How much are they paying me?
Is there a product where the amount of money would make a difference that you just wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I feel like on general purpose, there are certain things that are connected to my weight and how much I grew up that I just got to say no. Like Crisco, lard, any fat-related things. Anything that you think somebody just fat when you think of, like, I know people don't think of that, but like I feel like Crisco and lard is something where you just think of somebody that got high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure, all that. I feel like grease, no kind of grease, no vegetable oil, canola oil, nothing you can deep fry things in, and definitely nothing that was made out of the inside of a pig. No bacon. No pork. I don't feel like I could be the face for porks.
I wouldn't want chicken or what. Like, I wouldn't want no. Okay, and I say that because remember when Mary J. Blige did that commercial?
Oh yeah, definitely not the stereotypical stuff.
Yeah, she was thinking about chicken wraps, and people gave her such hell for that. Nothing stereotypically black, so no chicken shit. I wouldn't. You know, not no watermelon, like nothing stereotypical
nothing
black.
Watermelon flavored, no grape drinks, no grape of cold, or what's the other brands? Fanta grape, nothing.
Knee-high Pete's.
Knee-high, nothing that is connected.
Is that a southern thing, knee-high? Is that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But another one, that fat man stuff. This one goes into poverty. No spam. Treat, Vienna sausages,
pork and beans,
like poor man stuff. Where it be like, really, Like, I really don't feel like them brands gonna pay me enough anyway, because
They're
it's
poor brands.
poor man
Yeah.
food. Spam. I think the origin of Spam was that they made that for like World War One, and so many of the soldiers got used to it. It's just a cheap way to get food for soldiers, and they got so used to it that
It's disgusting.
when they got back, they wanted it at home, and so Spam started being put in the stores from that, and from that came all these other kind of potted meats and
we talked about South meat the other week.
yeah.
My dad, I think he still eats South meat. It look weird. It's just gray. Gray meat is just not. I don't want to eat gray meat. That's weird.
Now on sheer just deliciousness alone, candy bars. I'm sorry, Baby Ruth. I don't care about you. Zero Bar.
You wouldn't represent a candy bar?
Not those candy bars. Zero Bar, Baby Ruth. Because I'm expected to eat one. I don't even want to eat one on a commercial.
I don't even eat chocolate, but if I'm gonna have to eat a candy bar that has like stuff in it, it would be a Baby Ruth. You don't like Baby Ruth?
No, I don't. That's why it's on my list. That's why I'm naming it.
What's the difference between that and the Snickers?
The chocolate tastes different. It's like a darker chocolate instead of a milk chocolate.
Oh, maybe that's why I don't like Snickers.
And that's probably why you like that dark chocolate ass Baby Ruth looking shit.
Yeah.
Or could accept it.
Yes.
If you ate chocolate more. Dark chocolate is different. It have a different taste than chocolate.
Oh, maybe that's why.
it's not as sweet. And realistically, it's healthy for you. It does the same thing as red wine.
Oh.
It thins your blood. And cherries, except you have to eat cherries and dark chocolate in a much higher quantity than you would red wine. Just because the red wine is so potent to get the same effects of your blood being thin, which is why in France, they have better heart conditions because
they drink a lot of wine.
Yeah, and thin blood is how your heart keeps pumping. The more your heart works at a normal pace, the better off for you. I mean, it's bad if your heart got to pump super hard because your blood thick.
Got syrup running through your veins.
Yeah, which depending on your diet. And I don't really get cut often to see what happened. But when I do get cut, I take note of how my blood is running. But the last time I cut myself was legit. The last time I saw my blood was probably about a year ago, before last week.
What about when they take your blood? Because you can see it going in the vial.
What you talking about?
Like you can see how it goes into the vial when they pull the thing.
See, this lets me know how frequently you go to the hospital or go to places where blood is taken. Now, ask me when was the last time I went to somewhere where it would take my blood.
How long has it been?
One, I've never had my blood taken.
What?
I never had my blood taken that I can think of.
How have you never had your blood taken?
Don't know. I do not ever recall somebody putting a needle in my body and pulling blood out of it.
Okay. Well, you could.
The only time I ever been to the doctor was when my blood was exposed on my terms, and I had to go to the doctor and get it taken care of. That's the last time I went. But I cut myself, and my blood kind of like just formed a little bubble on my skin. I was like, oh shit, my blood thick as fuck. I went and bought cherries immediately. But when I cut my finger last week, like, it was fucking waterworks over here. Like, blood was on all my fingers. I didn't even know I had cut my hand. And so I'm like just doing shit, and I look at my hand, I'm like, what the fuck? When did this happen? But I had been doing some moving shit around and stuff, so it happened at some point.
When they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me and I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I gave so much fucking blood. They took vials and vials and vials of blood from me. So I've seen my blood in a vial a lot over the years.
That being said, it's no surprise that I need to go to the doctor for something. I've spent my whole life like not having to go to the doctor for
Getting
stuff.
too old for that now.
I know. In the 8th grade, I had to get stitches.
I've never had Well, no.
When I was in AUM, I went to the doctor because I had a headache right before I had an exam. I never had a headache like that before, and I never had one like that since.
I get migraines, so.
And I haven't been to the doctor since.
Yeah.
I
You
did
should
a
go to the doctor
polysomnogram,
more.
and that was in 2007. I did a polysomnogram.
That was 11 years ago.
I know.
You need to go to the doctor, nigga.
For
the
what?
fuck?
The
To
doctor's
make-
for when shit is
No,
wrong.
you know, you want to get on top of it so that shit don't go wrong. I want to know before it get to the point where I have to go to the. I want you to catch this shit so we can go and get this shit straight. You gonna be dying by the time you go to the doctor. It's gonna be
Listen,
too late.
I don't want to go to the doctor.
That's
They be
mean
like,
shit.
sir, you got booty cancer, brain cancer. Your balls is finna fall off. You can't have kids. You
So you just gonna walk around with all of these
you
things
got
wrong?
diabetes and high blood pressure.
Ignorance
and-
is bliss. Is that how you gonna live your
Yeah.
life? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna let one of them things that almost killed me discover all the rest of them. After I go to the doctor because I passed out in Walmart.
It's not a good. Not a good.
And I hope
idea.
it's somewhere where people at, because I be a lot of places where ain't nobody at. I be taking naps in my car. I'm gonna take the eternal nap in my car till the gas run out, and they just be like, "When he here Friday?" Oh shit, he dead. And it smell like shit in here.
Oh my god.
Release his bowels.
Okay, we got way off the rails. I asked that question because Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, York peppermint patties. Continue.
They are delicious. I love this again. If I'm gonna have something chocolatey,
One, that's because it's dark chocolate, and it's because there's mint bullshit on there. I don't want.
so good.
I don't want
though.
my mint with my chocolate.
So you don't eat Thin Mints?
Thin mints, I don't like them. I eat them because I get them every year for Girl Scouts.
That's mint and chocolate.
I know. I don't want it. I wouldn't represent Thin Mints either. Or no Thin Mint related motherfucking. What I look like? I'm fat. I am not finna represent no dark chocolate mint shit. That's old people shit. Okay?
You gonna be old here soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be an old ass trendsetter for delicious shit. Fuck your Metamucil, fuck your Centrum, and fuck your peppermint patties.
Nigga, I have to take vitamin D now because of my deficiency, and so I take medicine daily, and I feel so old. Like in the morning when I'm getting walk out the door, I be like, "Damn, I forgot to take my my vitamin D. Have to go back
Medicine
in and get
keeps
it."
us alive for all these years.
I know, but it's just I didn't have to do this before. I feel old, but at least I did. I got gummies, so it's not bad. They're gummy vitamin D things that I got from. I got a big ass thing from Sam's because I'm gonna have to take it forever and always.
Okay, before we go on to the story, traveling the video game world, Fallout 76 just came out.
76.
Yeah.
Why is it 70? Is that the year?
I think that's the year
Okay.
that the whole shit happened.
Okay.
And this game is like most closely after the event happened than any other game. All the other games play out way, way deep in the future
okay.
of that world. This one is closer. And they call it Reclamation Day. If you've played Fallout and you're a fan of the series, it looks like Fallout, but it don't. Parts of it don't feel like Fallout. It's different because they opened it up to online shit, and it's a whole bunch of other people running around in the game that can fight you and shoot you, or you can play with them. But if you somebody like me who don't give a damn about playing with people, it's just missing a lot of shit. It's missing that NPC player interaction where you can ask a question and choose different comments. So on games like this, I used to level up my charisma real high so that it opened up extra options for me so I can interact with people differently. But it don't seem like that make a difference in this game. Either way, in this game, they got shit like stem packs and buff out, all these different like supplements you can take that just make your body better. Like you can shoot yourself in the arm with a stem pack and it heal your broken bones and shit.
Oh.
I'm waiting for that future. Shit like that in BioShock where you can like inject new shit in your veins and shoot electricity at a motherfucker that's fucking with you.
I don't know that we're gonna be alive for that future.
I don't know.
I don't know
You
that's gonna happen in our lifetime.
Think about this. This is what I was thinking about. Cause it's a theory that aliens came down and gave the Egyptians the technology to build a pyramid, and from that moment on, that was when our society propelled into a certain way of building and thinking.
That's
And
the
then
premise of Stargate. Have you ever seen Stargate?
No.
The movie? Okay.
And then when you get to slavery, there was a stark increase in technology from we didn't have shit, not even light bulbs, to light bulbs, cotton gin, every fucking thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a theory that it's just, we might just be one mad scientist away from a motherfucking transformation of society.
Maybe.
But in the wrong direction. Everything done went in the right direction at this point. All it's gonna take is for like some shit like abortion to be banned, and somebody gonna get in a lab trying to create some shit, and now we gonna have some superhuman bullshit going on. But, you know, we could be close to it. But go ahead, Tiffany Haddish.
So Tiffany Haddish has a new brand deal. She is now going to be on the cover of Lawry's seasoning salt packages. For my white people, I don't know. I feel like Lawry's is like a black thing. It's sold everywhere, but like, do white people use Lawry's like we use Lawry's?
One, we've already talked about this.
What?
White people have seasoned mouths. The seasoning gets built into white people. That's why we can't understand why they don't season things very well, and why when we season things and they eat it, they be like, "This is over seasoned. This is too salty," because it's built in. You know, and now, you know, at this point in the world, we all mixed with so much other shit that maybe some white people don't have as much season built in as other people, so they can accept some of the season. But like our mouths is a blank slate. We gotta have the seasoning. So some white people use Lawry's to a lesser degree than with us. Yes. Some white people use it, and other white people they don't have to. It's built in.
I would just, you know what? I wish that I could right now like leave and go to government name and nerd plate to their homes and look in their spice cabinet to see. I guarantee, I just feel like everybody got Lawry's in their house. Like, because it's just one of those things that everybody uses. And like, they have the regular Lawry's and they got the Lawry's with less sodium for the people with high blood pressure.
And let me tell you something.
Lawry's is salty.
Let me tell you something. If you think that a container can just say seasoning salt and be sufficient, no. Lawry's is the seasoning salt. I don't know what the fuck else they do to they shit.
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me if they sprinkle some crack into the mixture. Cocaine, not crack, because, you know, that's the other shit. But yeah, like, they sprinkle some addictive into that shit and make you be like, damn, this tastes better than all the other ones. Not enough to get you addicted to it.
Everybody use Lawry's. So that is a
because I've had McCormick's.
I don't even.
And I trust McCormick brand other things,
but not seasoning
salt. It's not Lawry's. and the thing is, it's only a couple more items that you can find that's Lawry's. Like McCormick's do everything.
Yeah, Lawry's don't
so
really
Lawry
do a
said
lot.
We fuck with seasoning salt. Maybe we'll do some lemon pepper because they got lemon pepper.
They do have lemon pepper.
Or like a garlic powder. I think they got like maybe some garlics. But like, we just focusing on this and making this shit delicious, and it works.
And a testament to that is the fact that they have been a company forever and hadn't had to expand out because they make enough off of the seasoning salt because black folks buy it.
And white people with low season mouth.
But so the reason why I brought that up is because for me, it's one of them quintessential black things. I would not have agreed to be on Lawry's seasoning salt packages. I feel like that's like doing the McDonald's shit that Mary did.
I feel like they should just do a commercial with her dressed up in a high cholesterol suit. I don't even know what it would look like. Like, I don't know how you would structure what high cholesterol look like and build a suit by it. But I mean, it seemed like she would be in the suit doing, like, being Tiffany Haddish. Because if somebody just listed down all of the celebrities and the question was, who should be the Lawry seasoning salt representative? Tiffany Haddish would be the fucking top 3.
Yeah. But what does that say? I would not want to be in the top 3 of people's mind for somebody to represent Lawry's.
Tiffany Haddish, fucking Lil Rel, and goddamn.
So comedians.
Huh?
Comedians.
Yeah.
Just comedians.
Tiffany Haddish, Lil Rel, and what's the dude's name?
Who?
That's been singing this new song. He a comedian, but he got that song.
Oh, Lil Duval.
Them 3. And Lil Rel because he fat.
Well, but that might be why he wouldn't want to do it.
He won't want to, but them the ones I would think of if you said who should represent. It ain't about who should do it. It's like them the ones I think of that like I would be like, no surprise. They're my top 3.
I just saw that and I was and show on her Instagram. Cause I didn't show you this. On her Instagram, like she's very proud of this apparently. And so she posted a picture of her holding it like how you would think Martha Stewart would be holding.
But I'm saying, why shouldn't she be proud?
It's Lawrys.
It is Lawrys, but
Look,
what?
she looked like Martha Stewart, but just holding.
I mean, that is not worse than the New Orleans woman holding them boxes of Popeye's chicken.
Look, she gonna be on the side of it.
I don't care. I like Tiffany Haddish, and you
I'm
know
not
what?
really a fan.
I wasn't gonna stop. And I don't know what would make me stop using Lawrys because
And
it's
it's
delicious.
a limited edition. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Even if people could fucking hate Tiffany Haddish ass. That is not gonna translate over into their love for
That's
Lawrys.
why Tiffany Haddish do your thing. I want to know what other comedians got endorsements from other shit.
I don't know. This is I would not have pegged Lawrys as like a brand that's looking for celebrity representation. Because have they done this ever before? Has anybody else ever represented Lawrys and been on the bottle? I don't think so. Not that I know of. And I've been using Lawrys since I left the house. Left my mom's house because she was using Lawrys when I lived in it. That's just what you do. You use Lawrys. You season shit with Lawrys. It's just, French fries. Like, I don't care what it is. You can put Lawrys on it and it's going to make it 10 times better. That's just what it is. Don't know what they use in their seasoning salt, but it's fucking amazing. And if you're listening to this and you're black and you've never used Lawrys, I'm going to need you to go out ASAP and get you a bottle. You will thank us later. Although I can't imagine how you ain't never used Lawrys. I just feel like it's a rite of passage. Like it's just what we do. But I wonder if they've ever had any other celebrity endorsements that just don't.
Lawrys?
Yeah, it just don't seem like a company that would do that.
Well,
It's a seasoning salt.
What happens is shit happen like somebody from the marketing team retire or CEO change and they change directions and like we don't know what's going on in the background and know who said, hey, let's get a celebrity endorsement. We see what our last 4 quarter makes have been and it's consistent. Let's see if we could do something and pay some money that might boost it. Could be a loss, could be a gain. So I think that like structural changes happen and it make a difference.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, let's look at some celebrity endorsements. And none of these comedians. What, Neil Patrick Harris, Heineken,
That makes
LeBron
sense.
James, all the athletes get some endorsements.
Yes,
Charlize
usually
Theron, Dior, a whole bunch of high-profile celebrities do colognes and shit.
Yes, those are
Fragrances.
not like that. Those all
Athletes don't count. Rihanna and Puma, Sofia Vergara, Procter and Gamble.
Yeah, because she was doing she's done a couple of different things. Because Procter and Gamble covers a large.
A whole bunch of people do Snickers.
Yes. Hungry while wait.
I'm looking for comedian. I put comedian in search and it didn't bring up a lot of them. I mean,
I don't think they get
actors and actresses. I don't really count it as the kind. They not the kind of comedian that Tiffany Haddish is. They just like they mostly do comedy. But I don't know. I guess right now she more of an actress than a comedian because she don't do like stand ups. She don't do live.
Yeah, but she don't do serious role. Like I don't know. Her and Kevin Hart, I feel like are a different kind of actor because like. They don't do serious role. It's like always goofy.
But Kevin Hart got a serious role.
What?
Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston is he got some kind of disease that leaves him wheelchair bound. He can't move. He's completely paralyzed, and he's looking for a caretaker. It's just one of them shows where he's looking for a caretaker. He's
he a magical Negro.
I don't know. It ain't like it's like It's like Kevin Hart said, I want to be in a role like this, but I don't want to be a magical Negro. So he got a lot of shit going on in his life to where it looked like they both kind of saving each other, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like he learning a lot by taking care of somebody who is wheelchair bound. And
I would have to see. I can't see him
either
in
way,
a serious role.
Regardless, even if it is a magical Negro role, it's Kevin Hart being in a relatively serious role.
Oh my God.
What?
Do you want to do Leroy's letter?
He did the letter?
Elroy. Yeah, he sent it. It's long as fuck too.
Let me do it. Let me read it. I always read his letters. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh Jesus, it's so
Wait a
long.
minute. Let's finish this first.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he's playing a role.
We'll see. I just don't think it's gonna.
It ain't. I mean, what I'm saying is, it ain't a fun. I don't know if you can say, oh, he's a serious actor now from him playing a role like that, but he got a little serious role.
We'll see.
But
I just don't think he's gonna be convincing.
Man,
he's too goofy. He's
people
too
be
known.
giving Tiffany Haddish shit.
I'm not a fan. I don't find her funny. I just don't.
I like her energy.
I mean,
and she makes me laugh sometimes. So that's enough for me.
I'm not a fan. But get your coin. It's just weird. I would not have been on Lawrys season.
But if anybody listening knows comedians, like traditional comedians that have endorsement deals, let me know, because otherwise Tiffany Haddish is doing her thing. And what you expect? She from the hood. She probably done seen this shit in her grandmama kitchen from childhood and was like, are you serious, Lawrys? Y'all want me? Oh my God. Like, she probably think Lawrys is like fucking a gold nugget out here.
It is in the hood. Like, for black folks, I'm sure it's a certain amount of black folks that was like, nigga, Tiffany Haddish is on Lawrys. But it isn't something, it's not like Dior. It ain't like Charlize Theron getting Dior, or it's not like Rihanna and Puma. It's not one of those things that's gonna be across the board impressive, because again, for white people with seasoned mouths, they just gonna be like, a seasoning salt? I've never even heard of Lawrys. Everybody know what Dior is. Everybody know what Puma is, though. Lawrys is like one of them things that it's gonna be a certain demographic that's gonna be impressed by that, I guess what I'm saying. Like, white people that don't even know about Lawrys is probably just like, why would she do a seasoning salt? Because they don't know how fucking amazing Lawrys is. Oh, I wonder if do they use Lawrys in the UK? Is it a international?
Mm-hmm.
Michael, if you're listening, whenever it is that you hear this, y'all got Lawrys.
Why? I mean, I don't know why. That's a whole nation full of seasoned mouths.
Well, yeah,
except Michael.
He might not have a seasoned mouth.
Michael's got some brown in him.
He does. Yeah.
And if you know any brown culture food, we fuck with seasoning.
Yeah, we do.
So
he might know what Lawrys is then. We'll see. Mike, let me know.
he probably fuck with them traditional Asian seasonings. They don't use no damn seasoning salt.
But they use
a lot of shit.
What is it?
Listen,
Kikkoman. I don't want to be racist.
Kikkoman's.
I got some of that soy sauce in my kitchen now.
Look, I don't know what culture you come from.
Asian
it could
culture,
be.
Yeah, I don't know which Asian culture it is.
But the with Asian seasonings, because I make Chinese food out, they lowest rung seasoning. Lawrys still ain't got shit on it. Like,
really?
No, I'm saying like Lawrys is like just fucking flavored salt. That's all Lawrys is. Like,
it is
Asian cuisine. They goddamn.
Well, yeah.
They shit is potent. Like they seasonings are fucking. They exotic seasonings. They goddamn. Yeah. They're serious.
Like what's the green?
I mean, they got a mortar and pestle, and they goddamn blending. They grinding up seasonings and shit.
What's the green stuff you eat with sushi? That's hot as fuck. Wasabi. My God. Wasabi.
Like
burn your mouth all the way.
Their seasonings are intense. You don't have to use a lot of them,
or you will die.
They make the food fucking delicious. Like every single item that you go into a Chinese restaurant, got its own level of deliciousness. Like, so you can add that to the conversation after he listens to this episode.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Just a separate little section about seasonings, Mike.
Okay.
Leroy
So,
has a long fucking letter.
Leroy got a letter. And I personally don't know how we went from, hey, Elroy, you said you was going to have a letter. You got one? And I can't do it now. I'm shooting ball. To this. I don't know.
I think he mentions what he was doing when he was writing it.
Okay. Because I'm like, God damn, this is long.
I told you.
He says, hello, darlings. Please read this in Freddie Mercury's voice. I don't really know Freddie Mercury's voice.
That was a good
one.
A little more feminine.
A little more feminine, okay. Well, I'll watch Bohemian Rhapsody and then I'll come back and try to do a voice.
I'm excited about that movie. I'm such a fan.
Bruno Fortuna and Buenos Dias Conversation Con Artistas. It's about that time when I have to bother you with an email full of my deepest and darkest thoughts and pondering, so please oblige me and comment as you both do so well. Red, you slacking a little bit, or should I say Queen Popsicle, the unicorn, on point always, as you guess, on point.
I can't stand him.
I also apologize as I'm actually writing this in between games of King on the Court because, as you know, ball is life. Okay, in between games.
So he was, yeah.
So I hope you was writing this before your first game started, not between losing games. I don't know. I'm just saying. The most memorable quote that I can remember is, Queen Popsicle, you are by far out of your damn mind if you don't think niggas be fucking in space. I mean, I appreciate a nice ass jiggle, so zero G makes it jiggle even more. Plus, with the thrusting, you think some motherfuckers ain't gonna experiment all types of the wall, literally anything. Yes, my wife thinks it's crazy.
Why? Of course she does, because she has sense. I don't understand why y'all are so convinced that people are fucking in space. I just don't understand. I don't care how long I was in space. That's not even gonna be crossing my fucking mind. You're in space doing space shit, and fucking is what you decide to do. Some old shit you can do on Earth. Like,
what you mean some old shit you can do on Earth? It's about the experience. You got people who have sex in the bed. You got to have some people who trickle out and have sex in the kitchen and other areas. You got some people who trickle out to have sex out in the community.
So what is it? So you can
you
brag
have some
and
people
say,
that are in the Mile High Club.
So you want to be able to say you had sex in space?
It's different sex. It's different. Zero gravity sex is gonna be different.
I just don't understand.
Unless you don't set up to catch her. Like if you thrust too hard and she just floating away, that's a problem. You gotta have a plan. That's why you gotta have a plan. You gotta plan for it.
Y'all are crazy. Go on.
Number 2, this chicken thing better fucking happen. We need plans, damn it. We talked about the chicken trial video.
Yes.
Review. We gonna do that.
We are going to do it.
We're trying to get it together.
They are so hype about it. And I just mentioned it in passing, but once it was out there, everybody was like, what we doing the chicken shit?
We got to get it together. We did come up with the rules.
We did, and we got a list of places. Did we get a list of places?
We got a list of places when we went to Golden Corral.
Okay. So we just got to divvy up the places and decide on the day, but it's coming. We're absolutely going to do that.
Yeah. 3, Mr. On Point, I sympathize with your voting reasoning. I do it so I can at least look like I care and to talk shit, but I do appreciate the summary of the amendments. It helped a lot. I do feel voting is pretty useless sometimes, but it ain't like we can just hit old people in the head and sound a new circuit judge in County 4 or whatever the fuck. If I ever run for president and win, A, God help you all, and B, first thing I'm doing is kicking Dan T. Cathy straight in the chops and opening everyone's favorite place 7 days a week.
God help us is right. If Elroy become president,
I take it Dan T. Cathy is the Chick-fil-A owner.
Oh.
Because the only place in my head I can think of right now is that everyone's favorite place that's not open 7 days a week is Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So that's my deduction skills. Let me know if I'm right. 4, still proposing this host swap for a week or 2.
Oh, okay.
That's right. We're supposed to swap hosts on every show to see how that goes.
To just see what the dynamics would be with like us on other people's shows and them coming on here with us.
Yeah,
so,
we need to do that. As far as the men on the download things, if you love pussy and fuck exclusively pussy, then that's what a motherfucker like straight sweet pussy Saturdays. If you like dick and everything about dick, you would have had real trouble reading this anyway.
You fucking right.
Then by all means, suck that dick. If you fucking with both of them, my nigga, I'm sorry. You qualify as bi-damn sexual. You can't be straight and have both. That's someone saying I love vegetables and I only eat vegetables, but I like steak on the weekends in a closet with my pants off or some shit. Just be who you want to be, damn.
Why the pants got to be off while you having the chicken in the closet? But yes, I agree. Like I said, I'm waiting to hear what Michael has to say about it. But Yeah, that was my point. Is that the whole concept of bisexuality is both. Heterosexuality is the different, and homosexuality is the same. So like I just I still don't understand.
I'm gonna wait for Michael.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody was a great, even though you old hoes didn't want to go. Freddie Mercury, I'm calling it, and filed it with the necessary people, the sassiest bitch of all time.
Oh yes, he was sassy as fuck. Like them teeth was my only. His teeth were so, and they were those were his natural teeth. They were just big as fuck. He had horse teeth.
Yeah, that. I was watching a little documentary. It was a part of his childhood trauma. Like he used to cover his mouth when talking.
He could have got it fixed when he got older. He just decided because when Queen took off, he would have been able to get it fixed had he wanted to.
Well, the way his teeth were was a part of why his vibrato was so
so he couldn't fuck with it.
His own.
Yeah,
that had something to do with it. And I think you learn how mouth structure makes a difference when you like in formal training for music, and so it's just something you wouldn't know as a child, and as a child you didn't know that you didn't know you would become a fucking one of the best singers to go down in history.
He's amazing, and he is sassy, and he was so amazing in his sassiness. Like he was the kind of sassy where I feel like straight man might have been like, he one of them people where straight man to be like, he gay as fuck, but he cool as shit. Like I feel like you can't even be mad at Freddie Mercury because he was just so fucking amazing. Yeah, he died way too soon. It's unfortunate. Get tested, people.
Or he died on time.
I guess it depends on how you look at it. We gonna have some real. I don't want to get into that. Go.
He died in the height of his greatness. Like a movie wouldn't be out if he died after he had sexually assaulted some men and women. Then he wouldn't have a movie.
Why would he have sexually? Why are you assuming that?
Well, that's what's coming out about Stan Lee now, and it ain't like it was out before, but now like people are focusing on. Well, he wasn't that great of a person, and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up,
he
man.
Might still be alive. All of the rest of the members of Queen are still alive. They actually helped with the. They had a.
Do you know any of their names?
Hell no.
Okay, my point fucking exactly.
I feel bad. I know what they look like.
The reason we know Freddie Mercury is because one, he was amazing at Freddie Mercury, and two, because he died.
True.
Otherwise, he'd just be another Queen dude.
Well, and there was such a controversy around his death because people had been speculating that he had HIV for the longest because he lost all that fucking weight and was like a skeleton by the time he died, and he would never admit to it. He like admitted to it and died the next day. Like he waited. He was like, "Bitch, y'all gonna wait till I ain't gonna be here no more."
He had that Eddie Long package. wait, no, hold on. Eddie Long had that Freddie Mercury package.
What's the sex point?
7, we should do an escape room before the year's out with everybody. I want to see us as a whole team dynamic. Alternatively, we all play games, but yet none of us play games together. I suggest Friday the 13th. Look, I got the Game Pass. Cole Jackson talking about getting the Game Pass.
But we don't. Does Cole have a Xbox?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I thought he had a PS4.
I think he got both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he got both of them. We need to find some Game Pass games.
Yeah.
I wonder if Friday the 13th no Game Pass. Let me know. Well, I'll check when I get off here. 8.
I
don't think it is.
The escape room. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think we gonna get on each other's fucking nerves.
We talked about doing this. I don't think you were there. Were you there?
Yeah,
when we talked about doing an escape room. Yeah, we need to do that.
We need to do it, and we have enough people where we would have to share. Because if you don't have enough people, then they'll just add folks in. But if all of us did it, it would be a big enough group where we would have a room to ourselves. So that would work.
I know you seen the teacher beat that student up. Now I think he was both wrong and right. I was bitten by a child just about a month ago. As an educator, mentor, or whatever you should. Or whatever, you should never lay hands on a child. But like I told Cole Jackson, I used to have teenagers his size, and if they get bucked, well, they just gonna have to catch these 8 trigrams, 164 pounds. Goddamn, Naruto reference. I love my job, but at some point, my safety is more important. And if you throw a basketball at me, you better knock me out because I'm not calling security. I'm calling the paramedics. Look, my dialogue is about the rules that we have set up for our society. Our society protects kids. And if you harm kids, then your life is going to get fucked. You won't be able to work with kids. They're going to come to your house about your kids. It will fuck your life up if you work. And my problem is, that teacher was a mandatory reporter. So if a child came to school and told that teacher that my daddy did this shit that you did to me, he would have to report. So I feel like a person that's a mandatory reporter, when they're in that position, needs to have the restraint to be able to control how they react to kids in them situations.
I mean, in theory.
In theory, yes. But if you can't do that, then you probably don't deserve to have that position. Because the reality is, this is not an epidemic. Everybody in society keeps saying these kids these days ain't like this, ain't like that. But there is not an epidemic of kids punching teachers and teachers punching kids. These are one-offs. These are individuals who lost restraint in that moment. If this shit was an epidemic, yes, we will have to address these kids. But over the whole country, the only story we got of a teacher hitting a kid is one teacher. Out of all the teachers that exist, out of all the mandatory reporters that exist.
There's been a couple of other. Wasn't it a lady?
No, she got hit by a student. I'm talking about a teacher hitting a kid.
Oh, okay.
So you can't tell me that all these teachers that exist got this restraint, but you telling me that the kids are like this these days, but we only got one instance of one teacher that hit a kid. That means that teacher don't got the restraint they need for the position.
How many instances of teachers getting hit by kids is it though?
Probably a lot of them. But the nature of kids is that there's a system in place by which that kid life finna get fucked up for a year or two now. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that kid just get off with doing that shit when they do it. And it ain't like an adult who do it should get off on it just because the kids be unruly. We expect kids to be unruly.
This is why I'm not a teacher.
That's what I'm saying.
And I work with kids in a one-on-one setting where it isn't, that's why I'm not a teacher. I couldn't be.
And this is what, and not only that, but there are ways that me and you as professionals are expected to restrain somebody that need to be restrained. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that there was a way that teacher could have restrained that kid that showed more restraint than just straight out swinging a full-blown grown man ass punch at him. That grown man punch had his kids and grandkids problems in that punch. Like whatever he done been through in his life, that shit had the civil rights movement in it. That punch. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be different if it was a slap. And the kid was little. The kid wasn't no big ass kid. He had a little bitty ass peanut head.
That's the kids that you ever heard Napoleon complex? It's usually the smaller people with the biggest attitudes. That's
and so, but the question I have, because I don't think that teacher should have punched that kid, but I do think that kid deserved a punch in the face. So I'm stuck because I want him to be punched, but I don't want somebody that's in a responsible, authoritative position to punch him. And so I was in a dialogue with somebody who was like, these kids need to learn to listen to authority, and when they don't listen to authority, whatever happened to them.
No.
Well, that's the dialogue that a lot of people have. Like, if you don't learn how to respect an adult, and you get hit, then you deserve that hit. Well, what about when it comes to the police? We can't have the opposite dialogue when it comes to the police. We can't tell the police that because they're in a position of power and authority, they got to be responsible with that power and not use it inappropriately, and say in a school setting that this teacher who is in that authority of power shouldn't have that restraint. They shouldn't take that shit with kids and should be protected from it. I just don't agree with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have that shit always. You got to have a consistent message for it to move forward. But my question is, what would have been too far? Because apparently a punch one too far for a lot of people. And I asked, what if he would have pulled out a stapler and beat the shit out the kid? Then at what point do you say that's too far? When a child is disrespectful, what is the limit of what you can do for them because they were disrespectful? It got to be a limit.
Yeah.
If he would have punched him and knocked 3 teeth out, would there have been more sympathy, or would they still be saying, well, he shouldn't have been disrespectful? That's the problem with discipline. And that's why DHR exists, because people don't have a measure of what discipline and abuse is. Mm-hmm. They don't have a measure of when is the limit on when somebody is disrespectful or doing something problematic. Where's the limit? Nobody knows. We got to answer that question before we can say whether that teacher was right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? And right now in our society, you can't punch a child in the face. No. Point blank. You can't. That's abuse.
Even if it is your kid. you
can't do it.
You have to come see me if you do.
Okay. That's my rant. I'm off of it.
What's his next one?
Number 9, Queen Popsicle, please let Sir On Point talk. We need him to maintain that buff and intimidating look and sound the past few shows. He's been an alt-white Nazi homosexual. Yes, because your ass be cutting me off after I say some bullshit to try to get a contrasting point. We talked about this.
We have talked about it. It don't register. I just like when you say something, I just be like, and then like it's just.
I let you get away with it a lot. I have to call you on it when I look crazy now, and I've done that about 3 times maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God.
10. Also for you, Queen Popsicle, you honk when you laugh, and I think it's amazing. I cried when I heard it, and it still holds up.
I honk when I laugh.
Yes. If you go back and listen to that episode where, what did I say? It was about the dildo and the ass thing. Your laugh then was like a fucking goose or something.
I was honking?
You gotta go back and listen to it.
Okay. I guess if it's really funny, maybe.
A new level unlocked. Maybe you didn't realize, but a new level unlocked then.
And stop calling me Queen Popsicle, nigga.
It's here now.
I don't, and
you know what? The only way this works, Red, is that it gets replaced with something. Okay,
that's what
it's going to get replaced with something at some point.
We
Trust me.
We've been saying it last week and today. The reason why this Queen thing, I bought a pair of pants. Because we didn't mention this last week on the show. You just put it in the group they start giving me shit about it. I have a pair of sweatpants that has Queen written down the side of it. And the reason why they think it's so funny is because I hate when niggas call me Queen. I have natural hair, and on these dating websites, I get a whole lot of hotep niggas who what was Grand Rising Queen? That was that was the latest one. Somebody sent me their first message said Grand Rising Queen, which I'm assuming meant good morning. He just had to like make it hotepish by putting Grand Rising instead of good morning. And so I bought the pants not because they say Queen, but they're really warm and it's cold. And nobody would have even known that I had the pants, but On Point decided that he needed to take a fucking picture and put it in a group. Because nobody would have known. Because I wore them here and I went back home. It's like I had them out. You know?
Well, for those of you who don't know, which are the other podcasters, this is for y'all, I guess. I wasn't paying no attention to her pants. I wasn't even finna say nothing at all. I didn't notice. I wasn't paying attention. She brought it to my attention. And it's not conceivable that she did not know what was going to barrel roll from her letting me know it was on her pants.
I just thought you were going to laugh and we were going to move on.
That's not what happened. That is not what I do. Whether it's a gray shirt.
Oh my God, gray shirt.
Whether it's a random name that I connect to you or whether you
because
Queen.
Popsicle Unicorn is your fault too, because the episode where you were like, if you told me to call you Popsicle Unicorn, I would call you. And so now I'm Queen Popsicle Unicorn.
Why do you say fault?
It is your fault. You do this. This is you.
But you say fault like it's not like masterful and intentional and great.
Great is subjective.
It's not my fault. It's my invention. It's my creation. Talking about some fault.
And that's why he keeps calling me Queen Popsicle in his fucking points.
Something has to replace this. And you know what?
I don't even know what it was
I'm the
before.
Catalyst.
What was
of
it
it being
before?
replaced.
Because y'all weren't calling me Gray Shirt. Y'all were calling him Gray Shirt. You can call me Gray Shirt. I don't think Red Velvet. It's been a bunch of things.
Yep.
Over time. Anyway.
11. What happened to the poetry? Bring that hit back.
I knew he was gonna notice because he was one of the people who really enjoyed it. Not everybody was fans.
Maybe one day. 12. And as always, fuck the cops, fuck 12. We ain't worried, not at all. Diamonds on my wrist look like McFlurries. Oh Lord, woo, 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 woo. I have no idea what song this is from. All these thotties ain't got mana slurping. Oh Lord. So I said that all wrong, I know, but you know, whatever.
Probably.
I'm certain it's the Migos. Well, that should be enough for you to marinate on. I'm gonna bug you guys in December. As always, I've been yours truly, empathetically, definitely, lovingly, and explicitly, SSJ Super Saiyan. Headband, Aeroid, T, Ketchum, Nerd Plate, Incorporated.
You're doing the absolute most.
I appreciate the letter, man.
Yes, thank
As
you.
always,
He got
it was
it in
long as
there.
fuck.
It was, because that's just who he is.
He did. It is.
Oh, my God.
All right. You talked about Tiffany Haddish.
I did.
White women in hoodies.
That sentence.
Have you heard the story?
No.
There
That
was-
sentence sounds
It
ridiculous.
was some African American teens kicked out of a mall.
Okay.
I don't know what mall. I don't know where. I don't really care. And it was because they have a no hoodie policy. And
It's cold as fuck. What you mean you got a no hoodie policy?
I don't agree with, like, I feel like if you have a no hoodie policy in the mall, you should have a mall that don't sell hoodies. And I'm pretty sure the whole mall, you could buy hoodies anywhere. Like, somebody can't buy a hoodie from the mall and then put it on after they buy it in that mall because of the bullshit.
That don't even make no sense. So what's the stop from banning coats? You actually, it would be easier probably for you to have some shit in a coat than a hoodie. Like the way hoodies fit. Whatever.
Listen,
Whatever.
it would be a better policy if they said we don't like for hoods to be worn in the mall. You know, as long as it's warmed enough, I guess there should be no reason that you have hoods on in the mall. One thing, the reality is this is one of those policy where they highlight something that is done in the black community in order to selectively be exclusionary of that thing.
Nigga, I got a hoodie on right now as we speak.
Well, we
it's
ain't in the mall.
But I will go right down here to River Chase right now in this. Well, not with the
And
queen
if it
pants
had
on.
a no hoodie policy, they'll kick your black ass out like they did them other boys. Okay, that's beside the point.
It's so ridiculous.
The point is, like, they do things like this at like events, high scale events. They'll say shit like no hats, no white t-shirts, no chains, you know, no tennis shoes. They will create a situation where it passively puts out black people who participate in that culture.
Clubs do that too. Like, what was the name of that club on Atlanta Highway that was real popular when we were at
Don't know.
AUM? Shit. It wasn't Bluebirds.
Oh, Fox and Hound?
Not Fox and Hound. But it... Damn, they had a lot of the Sigma parties at it.
Don't know. Didn't go to parties. Played the game. Halo.
I didn't go to a lot of parties, but I wish I could remember the name of it. Anyway, you would be in line outside and like they would make people get out of line for certain shit.
I'm
like,
telling you that is that
but that was like a
exclusionary.
black. It wasn't.
Well, I mean, it's still exclusionary
Yeah.
shit because all them places be owned by not black people.
Yeah. Damn.
You know, they still come up with policy where if we want you out of here, boomerangs.
Yeah.
If we want you out of here, we can put you out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so those policies reflect how to stigmatize a group without saying we racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. We're not racist because we just don't want tall tees. We just want button-up shirts. When in reality, you know that black culture participates in
Tall
that,
tees,
and not
yeah.
exclusively, but more likely than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, so. And it's more likely that white people gonna have on stuff like boat shoes and collared shirts and shorts and not have on chains and not have on caps anyway. You know, they're telling you who they want there without telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can have a no hoodie policy in the mall when you know that among the population that come there, black people are predominantly the ones that have on hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was this police officer followed these boys around the mall the whole time, and when he got to a point where he felt like they were suspicious, he said, hey, we're going to kick y'all out, but it's because of y'all hoodies. That's the only reason, because of your hoodies. And so these four white women was like, one white woman would say, hey, we want to point out the racial disparities in this policy. We're going to wear our hoodies around and see what happens to us. And they wore their hoodies around and nothing happened to them.
Of course not.
Until they put the hoods on. When they put the hoods on, security told them to remove the hoods, but let them go about their day. They didn't get arrested. They didn't get removed from the mall. Now, an argument I got into with a dude was like, and this is how white people, and I don't really want to call him alt-white. He had the best intentions. He's just an ignorant white dude. He wants to say that there was no reason for the boys to resist leaving the mall because it's private property. So the police asking them to leave, they should have left immediately because it's private property. Well, that's just not how shit work. That's not how it's supposed to work. How it's supposed to work, if you're on private property, not putting up any kind of fuss, not causing any issue, you should be able to stay on that private property.
Like everybody else in the fucking mall.
Now, if you have a rule that somebody can't do something, regardless of how irrational it is, because not being able to wear a hoodie is an irrational rule,
Especially
it should be
this
applied
time
to
of
everybody equally. Those women should have been asked to leave, not to take their hoods off. And that showcases how the disparity works. But see, white women, this is not how you combat that. You don't break the rule yourself to see what happens. What white women can do, because when white women ask for shit to be done, it get done, is to go to that mall and talk about that security and let them know that they have problems with how this justice was carried on inappropriately, and challenge it that way. I just feel like it make a mockery of the struggle people have when you just show how easy it is for you to get away with it. I just don't like that. It don't really bring me no feel goods because she out there.
Well, I don't know if her goal was to show how easy it was for her to get away with it, as opposed to, because it's one thing for them to say that this is the rule, but showing that it's the rule only when it's certain people. Because before they did that, you couldn't say with any surety. You would assume it, but you couldn't say with any surety that they were only doing this to black kids.
We can say it. See, black people just don't. I mean, white people don't want to hear that shit.
Oh well, I mean,
white people don't want to hear that this shit happen every day. They got to do their own experiments, and they got to be hanging out with black people, and for that shit to happen, we've been saying this shit's going on for the longest.
But it hadn't been taken seriously. But with these white women going and doing it and showing the disparity, and them being white and saying it, I think it does make way more of a difference than if you or I got on here and said some shit like how that's fucked up, and ain't nobody gonna listen to that shit.
But it's
I don't know that they were trying to show how easy. I mean, cause
I know that's what they're not what they were trying to show, but I think it's really short sighted in how they was trying to achieve what they trying to achieve by doing what they did. You know, I mean, is it supposed to be an expose? Like, are they supposed to be exposing somebody? Is that's what this supposed to be?
If they had just gone and talked to the people, we wouldn't know about it. The reason we know about it is because they did something like going in the mall.
My question is, what's next? Because if nothing happen next, and if the white women don't do anything next, and if the policy don't change to be more inclusive, then
but that's to say
there's no point of it.
Okay, so then that's to say don't try, because there's no point. If it doesn't have the outcome that you wanted, don't even attempt in the beginning. You don't know what the outcome is going to be on the front side or something till you do it.
I'm just saying, if you want to find out if the police are more aggressive with black people than white people because they, you know, brandished a knife or had a gun, you don't walk around the street with a pistol on your hip waiting for the cops to come whoop your ass.
There was a whole video of a white man walking around with an assault rifle, and police didn't say shit to him. Like, you don't remember that video that went viral?
I do remember the video.
But when that happens, it gets talked about.
Well, what I'm saying is, as a black person, that's not how you find out the difference. That motherfucker could have got shot.
Who could have got shot?
The black dude.
Oh, well, yeah. I wouldn't have been
I'm saying this is not how you do it.
Yeah.
This is not how you do it if it's a white person and a black person trying to show the difference. And it's not how you do it if you're a white person with a black. It's not how you do it. This is just not how you do it. And you know what? What if they would have told them white women to leave? Then it wouldn't have did nothing. Like, this is not how you enact change in the system. It's not at all. Because what's going to happen is that security is going to say, we did address those white women who had those hoodies and we told them to take their hoods off. The reason that these black kids got kicked out is because they didn't respond to a request to leave. Like, it's just
but
that.
the request itself for them to leave is different. That's the differentiation.
But that makes the context by what these white women did different than what the black dudes did. Like, they going to always be able to get out of it through dialogue. That's why I just don't think it's useful.
I mean, if they had
nothing against them, but I hope they do more shit.
They didn't ask them women to leave for them. They didn't even have the opportunity to put up a resistance because they weren't asked to leave. That's the difference. Like, they can say, well, they resisted. They didn't, they refused to leave. My thing back to them would be, because you asked them to leave. You didn't ask them white women to leave. You just told them to take their fucking hood.
They're going to go back and say that they were suspicious. They were acting suspicious. Like, there's no way that you're going to be able to draw a parallel because it's for white women.
But them four white women going in there asking them to change the policy is not necessarily going to do it either. Like, because all they're gonna say is that it's a policy across the board for everybody. Like without showing a disparity, without them having done that and showing like, hey, this happened when we did it, this happened when they did it. To just go in there because you don't like a rule and say, well, it's not fair that we can't wear our hoodies. You think that they would have been more likely to change the rule if they had did that? Because they white women?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
White women get shit done.
They do, but like
at
not
the expense of black women and other black people.
Usually,
sometimes.
exactly. They don't get shit done. Usually in helping.
Well, I need to know what's getting done. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know
what's getting done. But that's all. Let's talk about that.
What do I have? Okay, people, listen, I got tattoos. Love tattoos. They're amazing. I started on a sleeve and then I stopped. I still don't know if I think I'm probably done at this point. But I say this as somebody with a love of tattoos. Do not get your significant other's name or their fucking face tattooed on your body. It's stupid. It is not going to end well. It never ends well. Please don't do it. Just don't, because it's so fucking stupid. Jhené Aiko decided to get Big Sean, not Big Sean's name. No. She got a portrait of this nigga's face on the back of her arm. I'm going to assume that they have broken up. They haven't made any official statement, but now Jhené got this big ass dragon tattoo all over her whole fucking back to cover. And she's like, well, I covered up a lot of my tattoos. Okay, girl, but the only one that people knew about, like, I don't even know what other tattoos she had on her that got covered up. But the Big Sean tattoo, you can't even see that shit no more. The person who did the cover up did an amazing job. It don't even look like his face was ever there. But just, it's not, as much as you won't go into a relationship, obviously not assuming that it's going to fail. For me, the mere possibility that it could is enough for me to not get no forever shit tattooed on me. Because one, getting tattoos removed is way more painful than getting the tattoo itself. And ain't no guarantee you just gonna have a bunch of scarred shit. It's just not a good idea. It's just not. Show your love in another fucking way. I'm not getting nobody's shit tattooed on me. I'm sorry. I'm just not. If you feel like I don't love you because I'm not willing to get your name tattooed on me, I don't know what to tell you, player. I'm not doing it. I
just feel like tattoos should be symbolic of something important to you.
I mean, he was important to her at the time.
But an exact match face of somebody is not a symbol. It's their fucking exact face. That's not a symbol.
It was a good ass portrait too. I don't know who she got to do it. It looked just like that nigga.
She could have gotten, like, I feel like, I'm not gonna say what she should have gotten. What I'm gonna say is that's a representative of the type of person she is, whatever. But I would never get something that I would have to take off of me. Like if I had something that represented that relationship that I had to explain to people, I think that'll be better. Because like it's not like what, unless that person did something to you where you got to remove every trace of them. But I feel like anything that ever happened to you made you better.
Tattoo removal,
unless you worse.
is fucking. I had a client who got his girlfriend. Did they ever get married? I don't even think they ever got married. Got his girlfriend name tattooed down the side of his ribs. Now, for anybody who don't have tattoos and don't know nothing about tattoos, that is one of the most painful places on your body to get a fucking tattoo. Your ribs, right where your ribs are, on most people, is not a lot of meat right there. Okay, he was a skinny dude, so I could just imagine how painful. My one of my friends got a tattoo, and I was there with him when he got his tattoo on his rib. He cried. That shit hurts. That's the tattoo. So when they broke up, my client broke up with his girl, he was trying to get it removed, which hurts 3 times as bad. On the worst place on your body to get it. Stupid. Like, I mean, her name in big ass letters down the side of his torso. What the fuck for? Like, I'm not finna do that. It's just crazy to me. People who get names, faces. I don't even really want nothing that signifies our relationship. Because again, even if you get that, if the shit ends, You may not have to explain to other people, but I don't want to look in the mirror all the time and see this fucking thing that reminds me of your fuck ass face. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be reminded of you. So I'm going to know forever what the real meaning is behind that tattoo. If it's a tattoo that represents a relationship, the fuck I look like. No, y'all need to stop doing this. Don't do that.
I feel like if you got to put some kind of tattoo on you about somebody, it should be a symbol, something you can explain, not their name, not a whole ass face. It should not be anybody, even your child.
I wouldn't even get my child name
Don't get
tattooed.
your child on you. What if they become a fucking psychopath and kill 4 people?
Okay. Okay. You know, I watch Murder Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
There's a documentary on ID channel about this boy named Paris. And listen, we done talked about this before. Parents, if you have kids that are murdering little animals, you need to be concerned. So this woman had a son named Paris. And then when he was 12, she had a little girl named Ella. And she went to work one night when Paris was 14 and Ella was 3. And Paris beat the shit out of 4-year-old Ella and stabbed her to death because he was mad at his mom. And he is serving time to this day. Like he ain't even eligible for parole until 2027, something like that. But he is just like, and they didn't. So she had put him in a facility, and they tried to tell her, you know, they don't give him that diagnosis that early, but they tried to tell her that he had some homicidal tendencies. She didn't believe him, took him out, got mad and took him out of the facility. That same year, later on that year, he killed his sister. And he said he was planning on killing his mama, but he didn't realize how hard it was going to be to kill somebody. And so after that, he called, they played the 911 tape. He called crying, talking about, I was having hallucinations and I thought my sister was a demon. Lies. He manipulative. Like he was. And what's interesting about this particular case is that his biological dad had schizophrenia. His mom, the mom of his grandmother, his mom's mom, killed her husband and got away with it. So like they got like a bunch of shit running through the family. He really didn't have no. But she has since had another child. She got a little boy named Phoenix now. And she still she go see her son every 6 weeks in prison, and he write his little brother letters, but she was like, she's forgiving him, but she's scared to death of him, and she would be terrified if he was like out on the street.
Well,
so yeah, don't get your kids name till you don't know how them little niggas gonna turn out
at all. I mean, because imagine all of the parties that you're gonna go to in the summertime. Oh, hell, is that your son? And your son's a murderer, and you have to tell the story, but not that he's a murderer. Like, you got to be like, yeah, some of them don't turn out the way you want.
And this was in Abilene, Texas. Abilene, Texas is known for having the most churches per capita. Mm-hmm. It's like way too many churches. So they're super religious. So when this shit happened, they became like social pariahs. Like, she said she would be in a grocery store and people would come up to her and be like, how could you have not known that your son was a murderer? How could you let that, like, just like bold as fuck. So that you punch one bitch in the face and then stop all that shit. You being nice and shit. The first person who came up to me saying some bullshit, you see what she got? Anybody else got questions? But it was a very religious sound. So, like, if she had him tattooed on her to make it work, because people already was like, that's the lady whose son killed her daughter. And, like, he beat this little girl and stabbed her, like, numerous times. Little psychopath. Don't be getting people's name on you, even your kid. You just never know. Like, it's just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. And now she got this, and who knows if she ever planned on getting as big of a tattoo. Her whole fucking shit is covered now in order to like blend this tattoo in. So I don't even know if she ever meant to get a tattoo that big, but like when you get a cover up, it usually gonna have to be something pretty elaborate so they can include all the shadows and stuff from the tattoo that you trying to cover up, she probably didn't even plan on having no big ass piece like that. But now you got to, because you want to get this nigga face off your arm. Stupid. Don't do that. It's dumb. Don't get people's name tattooed on you. Don't get their face. I wouldn't even get nothing, because again, like, you go into a relationship with the best of intentions, but we all know that there is a possibility. Okay, the shit I got tattooed on me, it ain't at no point in my life where I'm gonna look at this shit and be like, damn, I hate this nigga, or damn, because all of it has something to do with me, and they're meaningful to me, and they don't have anything to do with anybody else. So don't do that, y'all. Please don't do that. Oh, it's such a bad idea. And then with names, when it don't work out on you with your new nigga, he gonna have to look at this nigga name all the time. And he might be insecure about that shit. Why you still got this nigga name on you? Or if he the kind of dude is like, you got his name tattooed on you, why you won't get mine? Like, I ain't finna deal with all that. I'm just not finna do it. Period. Not finna do it. I ain't finna get nobody's lip prints, because people was doing that. That was a thing. Getting like kiss prints on your neck and shit. I'm just not finna do none of that shit. It's stupid. It's dumb. That's my rant about that. What do you have?
Okay, let me go on and get this out of the way.
Why are you laughing?
Jill Scott.
Oh God. That's why you laughing.
I just want to say something. Okay. Did people not know what the fuck Jill Scott been singing about for this whole time?
No, because Shogun was one of the people that was like, he hadn't really listened to her. I'm like, you must not have, because Jill Scott been singing about shit like this forever.
If Jill Scott, Why Did I Get Married? If y'all thought that was Jill Scott, that ain't Jill Scott.
That is not Jill Scott. No.
So let me read Crown Royal lyrics real quick.
Go on.
Your hands on my hips pull me right back to you. I catch that thrust, give it right back to you. You're in so deep, I'm breathing for you.
Damn.
You grab my braids, arch my back high for you. Your diesel engine, I'm squirting mad oil on. Down on the floor till my speaker starts to boil. I flip shit, quick slip, hip dip, and I'm twisted. In your hands and your lips and your tongue tricks. And you're so thick, and you're so thick, and you're so Crown Royal on ice. That is the song Crown Royal. And it's not about Crown Royal being what they drunk. She's comparing his thickness to the thickness of Crown Royal to other thinner alcohols. That's her. That's one of her early hits. Like,
she had a whole song. Do you remember Getting in the Way when she whooped that bitch ass in the video?
yes.
Like, Jilly is
You're
from
getting
Philly.
in the way of what I'm feeling. I want the D.
And I'm finna beat your ass.
You get whipped.
Like, she's from Philly. She's from Philadelphia. Like, I don't know why people thought. I really do. People thought she was in real life like her character, the real meek and mild character on Why Did I Get Married? That is not Jill Scott. Let's take a long walk after dark in the park. She's not trying. I mean, like,
Yeah.
listen.
They going to get some shenanigans. Number two, they gonna find a body and Law and Order episode gonna start.
Yeah, Philly, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just funny to me that people were surprised. Like, this is Ben Jill Scott.
She wasn't trying to go in the park to have a picnic.
She was not after dark.
She was trying to have a dick nick. I'm gonna tell you that.
A dick nick.
No food, just meat.
I hate you.
Look,
It's just so funny that people didn't know that. Like,
but it's crazy to me. It's just crazy that it's crazy how limited some people's ability to focus is until you have a visual. You know, this song been on my playlist for like 5 years on Spotify.
It's so
You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to Jill Scott and I'm like, Jill Scott a freak. When I saw that shit, it was like, it's no surprise.
Yeah.
It was no surprise.
She said, because she's been seeing people talking shit about it, and she even was like, I don't know why y'all are so surprised. She was like, people been getting laid after my concerts. And it's true. Like, you don't take a girl to Jill Scott like, you take her to that concert knowing that you more than likely are gonna get it in when you leave because of the subject matter that she's sing about. I just can't believe people didn't know that. It's just so funny that people make this such a big ass deal, and she was just like, "You ain't know."
Well, you know, I think it's just one of them things where you have a woman, black woman, that is just sexually open, sexually free with her dialogue, and it's hard for a lot of people to accept that shit. Still, it's hard for people to accept that shit. A woman that's sexually open.
Because Rihanna blew everybody's mind when she was just like, "Fuck y'all, I'm gonna do what I want." Yep, I was with him, and yep, you saw me coming out of his room. I don't give a fuck.
But Jill Scott been doing this for some time, and it's just interesting to see that people didn't know or didn't know what the fuck she was talking about.
Like when I saw it, I was like, "Why everybody talking about Jill Scott?" Then I saw it, I was like, "Y'all late as fuck."
I mean, I see why they talking about it. The aesthetic to somebody who don't really know is definitely It's a whole bunch of dudes that ain't getting head like that. Everybody ain't getting that two-handed pepper grinder going on. I saw that on a meme, by the way. I don't want to steal it, but everybody ain't got that going on in their bedroom. Jesus. You know, so I can see how the aesthetic. You know, but I mean, she finna definitely get some increased sales on her music. Yeah. Cause dudes out there being like, "Why you can't be like Jill Scott? Huh? You ain't like nothing but a damn pigeon out on the New York streets picking up bread. I want the two-handed pepper grinder slobber action like Jill Scott." Watch the video again. Replay. He done played it 20 times already. Look.
Oh my God.
Well, if you had microphone meat, maybe we can figure something out.
We'll cut you deep, won't we?
So we might as well talk about Michelle Williams.
Yes. Michelle Williams is engaged to Chad Johnson. I didn't know who he was till she became engaged to him, and they have a show called Chad Loves Michelle, Michelle Loves Chad, one of them two.
If you don't know Michelle Williams was a member of Destiny's Child.
How do they not know Michelle?
Now she's Destiny's stepchild. I think she was Destiny's stepchild when she was in Destiny's Child.
But that's why, and I
she
hate
was
it.
falling and shit. She was always the one fucking up. Her dance moves was weird. It's a video of her trying to twerk while
she can't.
The other
She's
ones,
tiny.
She was just doing that little back push out thing.
She's so little. Michelle has never been
but what level of disrespect is that? Like, they sat in a room and they was like, okay, I know that you're not gonna sit well with this, Michelle, but it's a twerk move in the middle of the show. God damn it, y'all. I done told y'all, don't be putting listen, we've been not twerking for a long ass time.
That's the thing. She's in the minority. Kelly and Beyonce can twerk. So Michelle, sorry, you got outvoted. It's just what it is. It's just what it is.
They could at least show her how not to just push her back out twice. That was weird.
But she can't dance. I don't know if you remember the Soldier video. The song Soldier with T.I. and Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. When Michelle was singing her verse, she was doing this little hip wiggle move, but it looked painful. It looked like she was seizing up because she was moving her whole body. Like, she don't know how to focus in on an area. Because twerking is focusing in on an area. It's not your back. It's focusing in on that dip in your back. But she can't focus.
She probably got osteoporosis.
She got something, because that shit, oh my God. That little move she did on the Soldier video when she was singing, I was like, oh no, Michelle. Poor Michelle. Poor Michelle is actually a what is it? Not Reddit. What is it? Well, people put a lot of posts. It's not Reddit though. It's you just do hashtag poor Michelle, and they have all these pictures of her fucking up on it, or just being different. Like Beyonce and Kelly have on the outfit, and then Michelle's will be way different.
But that's why I feel like I had to let the world know who Michelle Williams is. Because number one, that name is bland as fuck.
Well, there's a white actress named Michelle Williams too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be talking about any Michelle Williams, but when you connect her to Destiny's Child, now you at least know. Now, if you don't know who Destiny's Child is, you done fucked up.
I don't know how to help
you a Mormon, not a Mormon. What's the people that live out there and don't be fucking with technology?
Oh, not a Mormon,
Amish.
Amish. Yeah.
You're Amish.
Um.
No offense to regular people.
So they got this reality show, and let me just say this: I don't ever think that this is a good idea. It's never a good idea. When couples have reality shows, it doesn't turn out well. Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson, I think, kind of started this off. I think they were like the first like big couple to have a show together, and them niggas end up getting a divorce. And all it did was highlight how stupid Jessica was, because she forever gonna be known as asking if chicken of the sea is tuna or chicken. So I cringe every time I see people. It's just not gonna be good for your relationship. It's gonna put people in a position where they're able to make all these comments. Michelle already got depression issues. She had to be hospitalized here recently for some mental health issues. She gets picked on a lot, and I'm sure that has an impact on how she feels. And so, to me, it just wasn't a good move for them to do this show. So now her fiance Chad Johnson is like a sports chaplain. He's a pastor, but he only works with like athletes and their families. He gets paid to do that, and he has a nonprofit, a charity for urban youth. And you look at him and you might think he's spicy white, right? You might think he mixed. He's not. He's just white.
He look mixed.
He looks mixed. He looks a little spicy. He's not, though. He's just pure white. And there is a picture going around of him with his family, and they look like something out of rural Alabama. They definitely white. They white. They southern white. But they're also Trump supporters, and so people have been giving Michelle a lot of shit about that. Like, it just, where she is, it seems like she's very fragile when it comes to like people's perception of her. That just wasn't a good idea. Like, the show, it just ain't a good idea for her to do this, because it's just gonna give up people more shit to talk about when it comes to her.
And it'll be different if they were more popular.
Yeah,
it'll be different if at least the relationship seemed like one that the world supported. Because if you know anything about social, what word am I looking for?
Media?
Not social media, but
constructs?
Public opinion.
Public opinion.
If you're liked and valued, people will support the shit out of you. Like, if somebody come after you, they will get roasted.
Like Beyonce and the Beehive.
You'll never be a Beyonce or Beehive. You'll never have that, Michelle.
Or even Rihanna and her Navy.
But all I'm saying is, when people like you, they'll never be about to fight somebody in no Walmart for your ass.
No.
Not you.
No.
They will for Beyonce.
Yes.
But you get enough people to like you, then that's something that they will defend you about. But y'all don't have that. You just Michelle, and he just white pastor
who nobody even knew of until they got together. And they met at some kind of a religious retreat that she went to because she was in such a depressed state. And like I said, it's just, it wouldn't be a good idea. I would say this even if it was Kelly. I would say this even if it was Rihanna. Anybody who is having self-esteem, self-image issues already don't need to put them in a self where they or put themselves in a place where they are going to be scrutinized even more. Because not only are they going to be scrutinizing you, they're going to be scrutinizing your choice in relationship. They're going to be scrutinizing him and telling you why they already talking shit about him being a Trump supporter and his family being, rural Alabama white. Like they already talking shit. And so I just don't think it was a good idea for her to put her life out there like this. Like, this just wasn't a good idea. Like, Michelle need to I think she's been doing some stuff on Broadway. She need to just do that, marry her white man and live her life. Like, you do not need to be letting folks in to have all of these opinions. And they're religious, and so they're not having sex. They made a big deal about that. They were on the Breakfast Club and did an interview.
They're not having sex when?
Before they get married.
Oh. Okay, I thought you mean like after they got married.
No. They're gonna do what Sierra and what Russell Wilson said they did. I don't know if they did or didn't, but wait until after they get married to have sex. That's what Michelle and the pastor say they gonna do. Which
are they married?
They're engaged.
Oh,
So Michelle loves Chad, Chad loves Michelle, whatever way it go, is following it starts with him proposing to her, and then it's supposed to be, I guess, their journey to that down. I don't know. It ain't a good idea. She's just not in a headspace. She's not secure enough in herself, because you have to be very secure, because you gonna read a whole lot of bullshit about yourself, and if you the kind of person who already is suffering and dealing with shit, that just ain't the move to make. Like, I just don't think it was a good idea. I wish them the best. I mean, I ain't got no problem with her marrying somebody white. Like, a lot of people had some shit to say about that. She the only member who married somebody white, because Kelly husband is black, and we all know Jay-Z is black. But whatever. Michelle has always been different from Kelly and Beyonce. She's always been the more conservative of the three of them. She's always been the more outwardly spiritual of the three of them. Like, she's just always been that. So I'm not surprised that she is engaged to a white pastor. I'm not. So
I mean, she's already been religious, and she already ain't got no twerk booty meat. So
I didn't see skinny people twerk. Michelle just ain't got no concept. She don't know her body, I guess. Because she can't access the parts of her body.
But that's probably why she's more attractive to a white man.
That's so unfortunate.
What?
That's why she's more attractive, is because she got more of a white aesthetic body-wise.
I mean, it could be.
That's sad. I never want. This is why when I was skinny, I hated it. I would never want nobody to describe me that way. I don't ever want to be like a white man's aesthetic. Jesus. Ugh. I mean, I still am. I'm exotic because my natural hair to some of them. So,
but it's some slim, thick women out there that can, twerk.
Yeah,
Kelly,
so I think Michelle. Kelly is thin. Kelly is not curvaceous as Beyonce. Kelly is thin, but Kelly has curves. She likes slim, thick, and she knows her body, so she can access the points that she needs to twerk.
So it probably, have more to do with it about twerking, but.
And she's super religious. She probably never. You start dancing and shit. That start early, right? Like high school. You be around with your friends, and so if you friends with people that's listening to Yolanda Adams and shit, you never gonna learn how to dance. You never gonna have access. College, same thing. You go to all these parties, like everybody. That's just what it is. But Michelle just seemed like she done led a very conservative life for most of her life, so she just ain't had access to this shit.
So the reason that this is a problem to me ain't even about this being. Let me not say it's a problem, but this is a dilemma in the whole situation. So the show is about them going to counseling for their relationship.
That's what the show is?
Yes, the show is Chad loves Michelle, follows the couple as they seek marriage counseling and work through William's battle with depression.
Okay.
So this second episode was them at their therapist.
Well, I know, but the marriage counseling part is what you have to do in order, or not. You don't necessarily have to. You do have to sit down with the pastor that's gonna marry you. But I just thought that was a part of the wedding prep of them moving towards getting married. I don't know
if that's wrong or not, but that's what this article says. And in this episode, an issue about race came up. Now, I think that if you are in an interracial relationship, you need to respect that other person's culture.
That's why I don't date interracially no more. Finding somebody that's capable of doing that is hard. Not everybody.
Love Life of an Asian Guy, which is a page that I follow on Facebook. Which with his articles and shit, he's either hit or miss to me. When he hit a home run. When he missed, then he fucked up. But he's Filipino, and his wife is black, and he said that they both respect each other's culture and each other's dilemmas with their own culture. They respect her. He was like, if she say this is what's going on with black women, I say true. I support that. If I say this is what's going on with Filipino and these are my dilemmas, then she's like, true. I support you.
Yes.
That's what it is. in America, black and white is a very, very hard dynamic because
It is.
the history that we come from is one that we still haven't spoken on.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that even if a black person dates a white person that is absolutely supportive of black shit, white people gonna shun them.
Yep.
You know, because it's some shit we ain't discussed yet. And then there is a level of black people that even if you're dating the most wokest, aware white person ever, just the fact that they white makes them think there's a limit on how black you can be.
My dad is racist as fuck. I could not bring home somebody white, and I could not bring home somebody Hispanic because or Latino. He feels like everybody that's Latino is Mexican, first of all. So he gonna be offensive in the first 5 minutes because especially if it's like a Puerto Rican or somebody of another, he gonna assume they're Mexican because that's just who he is. So, and his side of the family is not very accepting of that kind of shit. So.
My daddy, when we was little, told me and my brother, don't y'all bring no white bitch to my house.
God damn.
We was little. We was like 10. I was 10. My brother had to be 7 if I was 10. No, it couldn't have been that young because he didn't get out of jail. I was down 14. I was 14. My brother was 11.
Damn.
He had a whole bunch of shit he wanted us to know when he got out, and he just told us shit we shouldn't have been told.
No white bitches. What did Chad say that was problematic?
It sounded like they were having a conversation, and she said she telling the therapist about something they said to each other. So we didn't get the exchange. Mm-hmm. And she said, I said something to him on the lines of, well, Chad, because you're not black, you would not understand why I communicate the way I do. Maybe because you didn't grow up around a lot of black people. So that was very offensive to Chad.
What?
In retaliation, he said, her fiance mentioned her mental health struggles and inquired whether she took her medicine that day. She said, and this is not to justify, but yesterday when we had a disagreement, he said, did you take your meds today?
See,
Michelle told a marriage counselor.
So that's problematic for a couple of reasons. One, instead of you trying to better understand why she said what she said, you automatically reject it and get offended. Instead of you trying to understand why there might be certain things you aren't going to understand because you didn't grow up around black folks, you automatically just reject it as something that's not true because you find it offensive. Two, making fun of somebody's mental health is never okay. And while he's not directly making fun of it, assuming that anytime that I disagree with you is because I hadn't taken my fucking medication would be a problem. That's rude as fuck.
I mean, and the reality is he was invalidating the potency of her conversation by assuming or gesturing that the reason that she's having the dialogue she's having is because her medication is somehow compromised,
and not that it's actually true.
Yeah, and not that's what she really feels, what she really thinks, what she really
experienced.
believes, and that in her right mind. Now, I do have a caveat for this conversation, because I didn't watch the episode, and I don't have a lot of the dialogue right here either. But reading some of the comments and some of the people that responded to it, it sounded like all of this was in an argument. So
it don't matter.
Something that you also can't do in an interracial relationship, even if you're a black person, is if you're arguing, have this blanket, oh, you just don't understand because you ain't black. Like, you can't do that shit either.
True.
You know, from my perspective, like, that's a conversation you have outside of anger. Like, there's a lot of conversation to have outside of anger. Mm-hmm. Like, get your conversation over with. Don't bring up that shit. If you got to bring up a way to invalidate your inability to convey what you're trying to convey, you shouldn't do that shit. And so he retaliated, but
you don't need to be one-upping each other. Yeah, that's a problem.
That's fucked up. Both it's fucked up both ways. But, you know, the reality is, the history we got in America, the way white and black people are set up, you kind of need to know where your person is as it pertains to race. That's just not some shit you can afford to not talk about.
See, that's the reason why I stopped, because I don't want to have to explain. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody, because it's already enough shit within relationships you have to work through, compromise on. I don't want to add another layer of he doesn't understand where I come from. I don't necessarily completely understand where he come. Like, I don't want to add that layer on. I don't want to have to explain to you. I don't want to have these fucking conversations. Like, I just don't. So for me, that was part of the reason why I just was like, I'm not going to end up with somebody in a race. It's just not going to happen, because I know that relationships are already a lot of work, and there's already a lot of conversations that need to be had in order for the relationship to be successful. I don't want to have to add this heavy ass race shit on top of it. I just don't. It just sounds exhausting.
I'm in a group, so Love Life of an Asian Guy. He's got LLAG fam, and that's a group where it's just supposed to be no race, well, not no race talk, but no, stories and shit, no inflammatory shit. It's supposed to be like just a chill group, basically. And it's a lot of brown people in there that date white people, and all the brown people in that group be on some mayo shit, dissing white people. That shit, that passive aggressive ass white people dissing shit. But a lot of, like, especially the black women, a lot of them are in relationship with white guy, and
that's fucked up.
I'm just confused to the correlation between your level of overt wokeness, or maybe covert wokeness, but dating a white person. It don't make sense. But it's just every now and then they have a post, somebody put up a post that say, have y'all ever dated a white person? Or if you're with a white person, would you do it again if you knew what you knew now? And a lot of them be like, no. But they with the person, And so, I mean, that's just, to me, that's just the indication of you need to know where your mate stands on race. You really need to know how your fucking person the same race as you stand on race, to be honest.
Cause I don't want to be, and cause I don't want to be with somebody that's got problematic views, and I don't want that neither.
Listen, if with marriage, I becomes we, our views need to be somewhat in the same. They need to live in the same apartment complex. You can't. Your ideas and mine can't live across town and think that shit gonna work out.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. It's gonna be really complicated. If you're a white person, you need to know if you Black Lives Matter. You need to know if your mate all lives matter. Some of this shit is some divorce-worthy shit. You can't just sit on how you feel about other things.
Because it's going to impact a lot of areas. Like, if you Black Lives Matter and your spouses all lives matter, when you have kids and your kids going to school and bringing home different friends, that might become, like, some of this stuff will impact other areas. Like, it won't just stay in that little bubble of conversation. It will have an impact on how y'all look at other people, how y'all interact with other people. It could be problematic.
At the end of the day, this dialogue is just about knowing who the fuck you with. And it's a lot of things in society that's going to happen after you get in a relationship. What you laughing at?
Because it's so fucked up. But, like, if I had met his family, seeing that picture that I saw,
who?
Chad family. Oh. Like, if I walked in the house and them niggas was sitting on the couch, no, I wouldn't have been comfortable at all. Like,
it ain't possible he ain't heard his family say nigga.
Oh no, they say nigga all the time.
It's not possible. They just look like they say that shit.
Y'all need to look up this picture. Like, it's not hard to find, but if I could not imagine. So imagine going to like a family event with him. This is what his people gonna look like. I'm not gonna be comfortable in that atmosphere. And my family, what I will say is, my family they gonna tell me later on how I'm fucking up. But we done had, my cousins done brought all manner of people home for Thanksgiving and shit. So they not gonna cut a fool or act crazy in front of that person. Now, you might be told not to bring their motherfucking ass back, but they not gonna like do no overt or covert shit to embarrass you or make that person feel uncomfortable. I don't know that white people always feel that way. Like, I feel like if I went to a family event with him with his folks looking like that, they wouldn't give a fuck about me feeling uncomfortable. They wouldn't give a fuck about me feeling like they don't want me there. I feel like they would let me know that they don't want me there. They just look like them kind of people. So, I mean, his family, it would have been OV. Like, no. Because you going to want to go around your family and I'm going to be like, I'm going to sit this one out. Like, I'm never going to want to go. and it's gonna be problematic. So that has a lot to do with it too. Like, I don't want to be in spaces where I feel uncomfortable in my personal life. Like, you can't help that professionally, you can't help that in a lot of other areas, but like in my private, I don't want to have to be sitting at home on Friday like, God damn, I gotta go see his hick ass relative. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to live my life like that. So, you know, his family would have been a deterrent for me. I ain't even met these folks. They might be really sweet, but just living down here and interacting with white people that look like that, I would never be comfortable. Never. That was mine. Chad O's Michelle was mine. That was my story.
But the second part of it was mine. You was done with it about the reality show.
I was.
And I brought up the specific instance of the second episode.
So, high school bans expensive winter coats to stop poverty shaming, which... Woodchurch High School in Wirral, this is in England, so this ain't over here, has banned students from wearing jackets from Canada Goose, Montclair, or Pyrenex. Pyrenex over here is like glassware. So
that's Pyrex.
Is it Pyrex and not Pyrenex?
Pyrex.
Okay, so Pyrenex apparently makes clothing, which costs up to £1,000. Shit, $1,200. Look, I ain't finna buy my kid no $1,200 jacket any goddamn way.
Yes, you would.
No, I would. $1,200. I really feel like even if I became rich, I've been poor for so long that my poor man's eyes would still be like $1,200. Like, I could have $12 billion in the bank and I'm still gonna be like $1,200 for a jacket. I feel like I've been poor too long. I don't know that I could ever get to a point where I'm like, oh, it's just $1,200. Get it. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I think I've been poor for too long.
It's about quality.
I get it, but $1,200 for one jacket that a child is gonna wear and grow out
of. How
of.
much money you got?
Okay. You ain't gonna wear the jacket for that long. I'm completely against, like, just the same way I'm against people buying high-end brand shit for babies. That baby gonna piss and throw up on that damn thing and maybe wear it twice before they grow out of it.
Let me tell you something, okay? When you playing Fallout, back to video games, when you playing Fallout and you kill a raider and you take their armor, it's some bullshit ass, low level ass armor. Games where, okay? Yeah. You gotta spend caps to upgrade that to a point where you can sustain damage, sustain the weather, not get diseases through it. It costs extra money.
There are jackets that don't cost $1,200 to keep your kid warm.
See, it depends on the level of warm is what you talking about. See, your ass talking about warm enough for what I'm willing to fucking pay. That's what you talking about. It's a difference between warm and warm enough.
You ain't out here in the fucking Alaskan wilderness walking around. You just need to get to the bus and then into the school.
See, that's that just enough shit you talking about. That everything you saying is just enough.
Because I'm poor.
All you need is period.
I'm poor. I'm telling you. Even if I became
telling you
rich.
In this scenario, you one of them. You can take a girl out the hood, but can't take the hood out the girl.
Country will be the difference. So yes.
No, it'll be po. You could take the po out. You could take the girl out of the po ass shit, but can't take the po ass shit out of her.
Pretty much.
You rich now. Buy your damn kids the best jacket you can fucking find, and make them work for it because you don't want them to feel entitled. But make sure they work for that shit.
For kids, shit like teenagers, older teenagers, yes. But little kids kids grow so fucking fat, they're gonna wear that jacket like one time, and kids lose shit. I can't tell you how many times I done listened to my coworker can be mad as fuck because her daughter done left her North Face jacket and then lost the shit. She don't even know where the fuck she put it. Kids are irresponsible. I'm not giving you a $1,200 because if you come home without that jacket and you tell me you don't know where it is, I don't care if I have enough money to buy you the $1,200 jacket. The fact that you were so disrespectful to my money, I'm gonna be upset about it.
See, the fact that you connect disrespect to your
money,
your value of money, not the kids, because they don't understand. your value, man, and expect them to understand the value the same that you do.
That's why I ain't gonna get them nothing that I'm be if I buy them a regular North Face jacket that ain't 12. It's a nice jacket.
I feel like it don't matter for you. I don't give a damn. It don't matter how much you spend on that jacket. If they leave it somewhere, they getting their ass beat, and you gonna have this same conversation with them. And and to be honest, I don't think it differs between whether the coat was $25 or $1,200. The fact is, you would feel disrespected because they lost some shit you paid for.
Maybe that's why I have kids. Maybe I'll get. Anyway, the school sent home a letter to parents and explained to them their reasoning behind this decision. As you are all aware from an email that was sent out yesterday, pupils will not be permitted to bring in these jackets after Christmas break. The support from parents, carers has been overwhelmingly positive, and we are thankful for this. Some have also asked whether Pyrex coats, which are also in a similar price range, with some also having real fur, whatever, will also be prohibited. I am writing to confirm that these brands will also be prohibited after Christmas. Thank you for the ongoing support. I mean, look, and so this is when over here in the U.S. when they started doing uniforms in public schools. One of the things when I was in school, because I wore uniforms like shit, that I was so excited to go to junior high because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to wear what I want. And the year before I went to 7th grade, we went to uniforms. And one of the reasons they gave was that it was going to cut down on like kids and brands. But you can find name brand khakis and name brand white shirts with logo. Like that's not going to, a parent that wants to buy their kid something that's like a hybrid, they're going to still do the shit because you can buy the most basic of clothes from these brands as well. So it didn't necessarily stop it.
For our school system that was considering uniforms, it was because of gang activity.
We ain't had no gang.
They was trying to limit people wearing colors and shit.
We didn't have that. So they were saying that there was so much of a discrepancy between, and of course this ain't we from the country, so this is shit like Polo or these are not like crazy brands, but they were trying to cut down on kids feeling left out or feeling, and it's just like you're not going to be able to completely eliminate shit that kids are going to get Jones for.
These goddamn Pyrex coats look like they made from airplane insulation, nigga. I don't know what the
Let me see.
These motherfuckers look like they warm as shit. Look at them hoes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm hot looking at it. Look hot.
See, like I want to be in a coat that feel like I'm on the inside. That's what I want to be in. And you know what? Sometimes that shit costs $1,200.
How much is them jackets?
$500.
Okay. What the?
These the kids version.
Whatever it is, they said upwards of $1,200.
I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them brands cost a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure that the quality comes with it.
Yeah. Well, so now them parents gonna have to buy lower quality jackets to make other parents or other kids feel
Or if
better.
they rich enough, they can buy all the kids Pyrex jackets.
They ain't gonna do that though.
I know they ain't gonna do that, but this ain't the solution. Listen, this is not the solution. Like, this is just putting a mask on poverty. And you think them kids, you think it's gonna make a better time for the kids with cheap jackets, that the reason that the rich kids can't wear their expensive jackets because y'all are too poor. We gotta wear cheap jackets because of y'all, and y'all think that's gonna make it better?
It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be a whole lot of kids getting their ass, bitch, I'm cold because of you.
It's gonna be a kid they gonna find with a jacket stuffed in his ass in a locker because they mad about this policy where I can't wear my good fire ass jacket, but on the weekends now, thanks to your little broke family ass, y'all farmers asses. Wait till your daddy come into a court with my daddy. He's sending your daddy ass to jail, and he gonna get raped because I gotta wear this little cheap ass jacket. You think this shit not gonna make it better, y'all?
It's not gonna make it better.
It's not gonna make
really
it better.
not. The
best way to fight poverty is to pretend like it don't exist. In a school. You gotta let kids be kids. You got to give them rich kids bigger consequences. But see, what happens is, this shit right here for the poor families, but now Some lawsuits and shit finna come down to the school.
Cause they gonna be up, yeah.
Some board members is finna be challenged. Some shit, cause the rich people are the important people in that society.
Yes.
In England,
Especially in England,
they got a class system. They like that's advanced racism.
Well, and here's my thing.
That's racism grown up.
In England,
Class.
with kids whose parents are able to afford a $1,200 jacket be going to school with poor kids? Like I thought they had like different schools. Like
It's still a difference between private school and a public school.
do they have public schools in England?
They gotta have public schools for people that's broke.
Yeah,
They gotta have public schools everywhere.
true.
But I wonder where's the line between a parent where private school is too much, so you got to go to public school, but we'll still buy you a $1,200 jacket for public school.
So you can stunt on these hoes.
Yeah, stunt on these hoes for $1,200, but not the $50,000 it costs for you to go to private school. Because then you got to stunt all year long. Like, we're going on a field trip to America. It's going to be $2,500. Like, imagine how much shit you got to pay if you already paying for your kid to go to a rich ass public school. Like, you got maintenance fees, field trips,
Sport and stuff if they play a sport.
$1,200 is a good ass deal if you send your kid to public school.
Instruments if they play an instrument and shit. Like it's a lot of
Like, it's cheap
money.
parents that ain't willing to have cheap quality on their kid. And imagine the parents who are rich now that went to public school and got rich and had shit clothes so
And
they
wish
don't
they
want their
could
kids to
stop.
wear no bullshit. See, now you finna trigger them. If you think my kid ain't finna wear the best shit at school,
he gonna have this Paradex jacket
let me
on.
tell you about my childhood. My mama had to wrap toilet paper around my arms when I got down went to school, and now my kid is never going to experience poverty. They're going to wear this expensive ass jacket that I bought, and if you don't like it, you can get these hands, you can get this lawsuit, or you can lose this board position. I don't care which one. Choose. I got the power to do all three.
Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, I would just like to know what. That's such a. I mean, we have that over here, but I don't know that anybody in any of these public schools have parents that would put them on a $1,200 jacket here.
Well,
They have like
they don't, but they do put them on $200 Jordans
they do.
with their uniform.
But a lot of them parents don't have the money to do that shit. They just out here stupid with their money. Like a lot of with Jordans, like a lot of times it's just parents wanting their kid to be fresh and fly, and it's not like a good financial decision.
I feel like most kids that have nice shoes like that, I think most of them probably got parents that are responsible financially.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
Well, let me not say financial. At least they got the money for it, or they use the child support check to buy it. Because let's not act like in these environments that it's not a lot of single parent households.
Yeah, but like I feel like at John. Well, Elroy can let me know. Do John Carroll wear uniforms? Mm-hmm. It's a Catholic school, probably so. They probably have to wear uniforms. But I feel like somewhere like John Carroll would be somewhere where people have more expensive jackets. Like, I don't feel like Woodlawn would be somewhere where somebody would walk into school with a Power Knicks jacket on.
You don't want to do that. Your ass gonna get robbed if they know what it is.
I was
First
gonna
off,
say, they
looking
not
at the
gonna
jackets,
know.
they gonna look at that bitch and say, "Damn, is that bitch made with airplane insulation? That bitch look warm. I want to take that. It might be from City Trends and cost $12 in Woodlawn. If it looked like it's worth something, they will take that jacket off your ass, beat your ass, and say they didn't do that shit."
Yeah. And you better not, and you ain't no snitching, so I don't know where my jacket went.
Well, see, that's where the dilemma comes in, because now your mama gonna say, "You gonna tell me where that goddamn jacket and them two black eyes came?"
Especially if I'm the mama, where the jacket at?
You gonna tell me where the jacket at
We
and where
better
them
go
two
and get
black
this
eyes
jacket
came from?
right
You gonna
now.
tell me that shit now? Who did that shit to you?
Yeah.
That's the dilemma. See, I want my kid to be smart enough to be like, "Now you know, mama or daddy, this is gonna turn me into a snitch. And you know what snitches get? Stitches. And you know, if I tell you what's going on, and you know I'm not telling you because I don't want to cause myself more problems, this just gonna be hospital bills you gotta pay." I don't think I ever had stitches before. Have I had stitches before? No, you ain't never had stitches. Well, the first time really won't Do you really want the first time to be because I told you who gave me these black eyes and took my jacket? Or do you want to go get me another jacket? Be cheaper than hospital. I want my kid to be that smart. I won't call the shot. I'm gonna call the shot, but I want my kid to I want to be like, you was a little smart motherfucker. Damn. You see, you smart. You gonna be something one day. You gonna make having kids worth it. I'll leave the last sentence to my head.
Oh my God. Yes, please do. Oh God. But yeah, so that's in England.
Okay.
I guess, Michael, if you got some input, we got a lot of stuff that you can have input on in this show.
Time finna run out.
Okay.
We got like 6 minutes left. But I want to go by this story about Chris Watts. I didn't even know about this murder. This man murdered his wife and his 2 autistic children. The wife was pregnant too.
Oh.
So she went on a vacation and came back from the vacation, and she was missing. Her best friend didn't hear from her, so she called and said, it's a missing person. They went to his house and found out her luggage and shit, so she got back, and she was just missing from there. 2 days later, they arrested him for murder because they couldn't find out what was going on, and I guess they just assumed he did it. Mm-hmm. And then after they arrested him, they found their bodies. They found their bodies buried in the lot of his old employer, which was like an oil excavator or some shit. Mm-hmm. Found the wife buried in a little shallow grave and found the 2 daughters in some oil tubs.
Jesus.
Closed them into the oil tubs and submerged them in there. Now, when he said, when they said it was gonna, so when he got caught, he said, I'll admit to what happened. Now, what he's saying happened is that he got home and found his wife had choked one of the daughters to death.
Okay.
And was in the middle of choking the other one to death. And so he got so mad that she killed both of the daughters that he killed her. And then he took all 3 of their bodies and buried them in a field.
Even a good lie, sir. You should have.
It's a horrible lie.
Could have came up with something better than that, Chris. Shit.
It's just so fucking stupid.
Let me say this. One, I wonder where on the spectrum the girls were, because severe autism, like nonverbal, can be real difficult for like the parents. But it's always so funny to me when I hear like I worked when I was an intern with a guy who had 5 kids. The first 4 had autism on varying levels, and the 5th child was the only child born without it. And so in my mind, I never said this to him, but in my mind, I'm like, why the fuck did y'all keep having kids? Like, was you just trying to get one that didn't have autism? Like, to me, the stress that would come behind it, I wouldn't keep having. So the fact that they had 2 kids that were autistic and then she was pregnant with a 3rd, that just seems like it would be so overwhelming. Especially depending on how severe the autism was, because again, like the guy that I knew, his oldest daughter had the most severe case out of all of them. She was nonverbal and she would get violent, and she broke her mama damn jaw one day, and they had to put her in a facility for a little while. But then it's her daughter, so she wanted her to come home. But like you know how hard it is to break a jaw. Your jawbone is a very thick bone. And this was not a little girl. Like, by this time, this child was like 18, 19, and she was a big girl, like a big, like football player girl. And she broke the fuck out of her mama's jaw. So it's crazy to me when people have kids with disabilities and they just keep having kids that continue to have disabilities. Like, you're just making things a lot more stressful for yourself. And autism is a different, those kids are not very good socially, and they have, you have to have these routines with them, and keeping up those routines, this just sounds stressful. Not an excuse for him murdering his whole fucking family, but
just the preposterousness of this man and how he killed his family, and then
she was choking, had killed one, was choking the other out. You stood there and let her finish choking her out, and then kill her.
That shit didn't happen. But know who you in a relationship with, man. Everybody on the outside is like, their relationship was perfect. Like, how did it get to this? Apparently, he had a mistress or whatever. But like, how did it get?
Did he just want to be with the mistress?
Don't nobody know yet. I ain't really said nothing else.
That's unfortunate. Like I said, I don't, and I mean that's not to say that people who have kids with disabilities are not entitled to have other kids, but when you see that you carry the genetic combination between the two of you that continues to create this same, like I don't think I would keep doing that.
And there had to have been signs. There had to have been signs. There is no way you can tell me that she didn't have any clue that this man was capable of this shit. Not at all. It can't be that. She probably ignored that shit.
And she left the kids there. I mean, it's their dad, but she like went.
What that mean?
What?
It's their dad.
You should be able to leave your kids with their daddy and not because like she shouldn't have had to take them with her on vacation.
I mean, I don't think that's a measure because it's women that done. Like people kill people. I mean, that's just what happens. Yeah, it's unfortunate when it's kids, and it's unfortunate when they're your kids.
But I don't think that most people would be comfortable leaving their kid at home with their daddy while they go out. Like you wouldn't be like, I gotta find somebody to watch the kids. Bill can't be there by himself with them. Like, and if that is the case, that's a fucking problem in and of itself. If he can't be trusted to be alone with him. But that's sad. That's real sad and unfortunate. That sounds like some shit I would see on. I will actually in a couple of years probably see him on ID channel. See his story. Mm-hmm. Erykah Badu is not pregnant. Everybody thought she was pregnant. She said she just fat and eating, and she's happy. This would have been baby number 4, and people was giving her a lot of shit because all of her kids have different dads. She got a kid with Andre 3000, Jay Electronica, and the DLC.
Oh, I skipped one of the stories I wanted to talk about. Shouldn't have talked about one of these other bullshit stories, but Jamel Robinson, the bar hero that was shot, what happened was some people got into it in the bar, left, came back, started shooting, shot 4 people. The security guard shot him and subdued him and was waiting for the police to come with his knee in the back of the dude. The police got there and shot the security guard, shot Jamel for all that shit. Now, I guess we can have more of this conversation next week, but my question goes out to the people who say things like, we need more guns because if the good guys had a gun, then when the bad guys have a gun, then these kind of things won't happen. Now, the first part of his story proves that right, because the good guy had a gun, he stopped the bad guy with a gun, and it didn't become a mass shooting, which it could have. But
the second part of
the story is he fucking got shot by the police when they came out there and saw a black man with a gun, to another dude's back. Like, I mean, the reality is the police had their lights on, pulled up, and a dude sat there on another dude with the gun out. He didn't kill him. He didn't get up and try to run. There was no reason that the police should have felt threatened at that moment. If he wanted to kill that dude, he would have shot him when he heard the police lights and ran. If he wanted to be aggressive, he would have moved once the police got there. He stayed there. The police could have talked to that man and asked him what was going on or what, anything. But it's just more American, and it's garbage. But anyway, that's all I got.
R.I.P. Kim Porter, Diddy's baby mama.
The white man that shot at the kid for missing the bus, he got 4 years in jail.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He should have got more, but he got 4 years in jail.
4 years ain't shit.
Anyway, you got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right, well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.